ring, 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 banana phone. Ring, 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 banana phone. I've got this feeling so appealing for us to get together and sing, sing. Ring, 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 banana phone. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding, banana phone. It grows in bunches, I've got my hunches. It's the best, beats the rest. Cellular, modular, interactive, modular. Ring, 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 banana phone. Ping pong, ping pong, ping pong, ping, banana phone. It's no baloney, it ain't a phony. My cellular, bananular phone.
Record at the tone.
Hey, Benjamin. My name is Jose deCastro. I'm really a nice person.
Well, off to a good start. 2 statements made. 1 true, 1 false. Your name is Jose deCastro. You are not a nice person. And unfortunately for Mr. Wish, we're less than 2 minutes away from finding out how not nice you are.
I'm just leaving you a voicemail to let you know that I received your email today and I replied to it. I received an email that said that I should have no further contact with your client, Kate Peter. Well, I'm just calling to let you know that there's been no cease and desist that has ever been respected.
So you got the attorney's email, and you responded to the email, but you decided to call him too, which really was a bad move on your part, because you got a real short fuse, bro. And without any prompting, without any interaction, you're prone to just lose your mind.
I have sent a cease and desist maybe 5 times, maybe 6, to your client, who tonight will queue up another video about me or one of my friends or one of my investors or maybe my ex-girlfriend or maybe my dog even. She might make a video about my dog. That's real. And so there will be no cease and desist respected.
Did you receive a cease and desist order, or did you receive a standard, I'm representing Kate Peter, please direct all future correspondences to me as her legal representative? It's not a cease and desist, Joey. You're not a very bright boy, especially for someone who claims to have been a constitutional law scholar for 20 years. 2 decades. You're not quick on the uptake, and it doesn't appear that you've learned much, because you're still using the same nonsensical, threatening, bullying tactics that you've always used, and in the end have always resulted in you losing.
I will contact Kate Peter anytime I choose.
Telling the attorney who just told you to direct your correspondences to him that you're going to contact his client whenever you so feel like it is not a good idea, Chili. Not a good idea. You may want to get back on the phone and walk that nonsense back. Because this constant you're incensed, you're angry as an excuse for harsh behavior, threats, talk of gunplay, because you're angry doesn't excuse you for aggressive behavior. In fact, if you're feeling angry, note for the future, if you're feeling angry, shut that little yap of yours. Go away. Go to your little quiet place until you've calmed yourself down. Then come back with the big boys and talk until you find yourself feeling angry again, and then go away until you're able to calm yourself down. I mean, we teach this to our children. You're 48. You don't know this yet? As for no cease and desist ever being honored, those would be the 5 or 6 cease and desists that you sent to Kate, where you're requesting that she cease and desist from exercising her First Amendment protected constitutional right to free speech. The difference, my friend, whether you like it or not, is she can say what she wants about you. Even if you were to get a restraining order against her, she can still talk about you. What would be prohibited would be direct or third-party communication with you. That's what you don't seem to understand here.
I have no sort of violent record or any kind of violence in my past.
Oh, Chile, you lied again. You do have violence in your past. You do have violence. Blue Bacon, and I'll put a link in the description to it. Blue Bacon read off an email exchange to you, from you to a woman you knew in Alaska who worked with your mom, who apparently didn't get the HR response she desired to get from work, and then you got involved and craziness started to happen to the point where you were contacting the woman's 16-year-old daughter and telling her to get her mother under control, and then another relative who was a Alaska State Trooper actually had to step in and contact you and tell you that they were taking your threats seriously. That's one of many, Chile. One of many. We've all seen your threats. Everyone who's watching on YouTube has seen your threats, has seen your violent actions, has seen you go after people in a way where you try to make it look like the person made contact with you, but you're the one making contact. You're the one pushing, shoving. You're the one yelling, screaming. You can follow the police around with a camera and shout all manner of obscenity at them. All manner of obscenity. And make wild and crazy accusations, not only about them and their misconduct, which is invented wholly by you, but you also accuse them of criminal acts. Come on, Chile.
I'm not threatening any violence of any kind, of course. I'm just letting you know that I've hired a private investigator and I've faced my resources to taking her down. And I'm not going to stop, Benjamin, until I run her completely off the internet. And it's not just me. See, because what she's done is she's attacked my friends and my family.
So you've hired a private eye and you're directing your resources to shutting Kate Peter down. Bro, you've been telling everybody for months you're broke. What resources? What resources? $10, $20? What you're able to maybe scrounge up on an eBay in your next YouTube video? You, by your own admission, have no resources. You're a 48-year-old man with zero retirement savings, according to your own mouth. So what do you have? Nothing in the bank? A little bit of pocket change? Bro, most people have more play money for Friday than you have to spend through the whole week. So you might want to think about more profitable uses of your resources than trying to curtail the free speech of others. So you're going to take Kate down and run her completely off the internet. These are not smart things to say out loud, Chili. Think them in your head if you want. Plan to do it if you want. Don't talk about it because it makes you look ugly. It makes you look ugly, and it makes you look like a little tyrant. You literally look like a little Caligula, little Boots. You're not running anyone off anything because you're not able to. You don't have a solid ground to stand on. You're a wrestler. You know all about it. If your stance isn't square and your feet aren't firmly planted, you're going to get upended and dumped on your ass. And that's what you're headed for.
And my entire family is angry at her. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine one person making an entire family mad? Could you imagine that? That's what she's done. She's gone out to my friends' houses. She's caused my friends. I'm not going to get into the details of that because that's another lawsuit, Benjamin. That's another lawsuit.
I don't know, Chili. Can you imagine making an entire family mad? What happened with that email correspondence in Alaska? You made an entire family mad. You don't have to imagine that. You have firsthand experience with that.
But I just called to tell you, you don't have any jurisdiction over me. You don't have any control over me. Don't ever write me again telling me what to do. Ever. You're not my daddy. I have no obligation to you. None.
I'm sure Benjamin knows that he's not your daddy. He's probably not old enough to have sired a little pipsqueak like you. But if you're not careful, little Chilito, he's going to be your daddy. And when you're in that courtroom, he's going to be your daddy. And you're going to be doing what you told to do. Because the judge ain't going to like hearing the way you're talking to this attorney, who, by the way, is an officer of the court. You ought not to be talking this way because it's not good for you. And, Lil Chilito, this voicemail, if you really did send it to Benjamin Wish, Kate Peters' attorney, that's really Kate, your name, sorry. But that S and the possessive, and it gets a little weird at times. Chili, when someone gets legal representation, you're obligated to talk to the person's lawyer and not directly to the person anymore. That's just the way this works. It's amazing that you don't know this. You do have an obligation to Benjamin Wish as an officer of the court and as Kate Peters' legal representative. You have an obligation to direct your communications to him and away from Kate Peters. And you would be wise to honor that obligation, my friend, because if you continue to obstinately dig your heels in the sand and demand that you will do as you desire to do, contrary to civil behavior, civil procedure, just being a moral member of society. I mean, if you continue to thumb your nose at the authority of the court and court officers before you even get to trial, Lil Chilito, and I'm looking forward to this, you're going to wind up having to go through a competency evaluation, which I don't think you can pass, especially if the individual interviewing you to determine your competency presses you just a little bit, and you react the way you always react. You're going to wind up in a situation where you are not allowed to represent yourself. And to be honest with you, that's probably a good thing for you, because you don't have the intellectual capacity or the ability to perform in a courtroom. All you need to do is go back and listen to your bootleg recordings of your ex parte hearing, your hearing with Kate Both of you lost. And then when you took Kate and Josh to court, you didn't listen to the judge. You didn't answer what the judge asked you. You kept wandering off on a non-fact-based emotional appeal. That's what she attacked my family, she attacked all my friends. Well, your friends and your family aren't taking Kate Peter to court, so the judge don't want to hear any of that nonsense. Remember the attorney down in Dallas that called you a YouTube sensationalist? Chili, even off YouTube, your regular life, that's what you are. You're a sensationalist. Facts don't mean anything to you. Facts mean something in the arena of trivia to you. That's all your poster and your little legal quote memorizations are. They're just trivia. They're trivia. They don't help solve problems. They don't work towards solutions. They're just trivia. They're just things you memorize to spit back out to make you look like you're smart, because people don't know these things. The average guy doesn't know the amendments to the Constitution, nor does that individual really need to know them to function in society. You're lucky, Chilito. You don't have a job to worry about. You don't have children to raise. You have a lot of free time to waste on trivia and trivialities. You up for a rude awakening shortly, sweetheart. And you gonna get what's coming to you, whether you like it or not. Because this Benjamin Wish, this attorney, is gonna steamroll you. He gonna steamroll you, Chili. And there ain't gonna be much left of you when he's done. And you'll be damn lucky if Kate and Josh... Now, I know Kate probably won't want to, but Josh definitely will, because Josh cut out of the same mold as you are. You two guys do what you do to get involved in lawsuits, because you have a slightly better chance of winning a lawsuit than you do the lottery, and you still have a better chance of being struck by lightning than winning either one of those two things. So at 8 seconds in, you said you were a nice guy. There's been no interaction with any other individual. You've been talking for a little less than 2 minutes. You said you were a nice guy at 8 seconds into the recording. We're now at 1 minute and 50 seconds, so we're coming right up on 2 minutes. And here you go, baby. You gotta prove you're a liar. You're gonna prove you're a liar. And you're going to prove that you're not a nice guy. Because without any prompting, without any reason, and with total disregard for the fact that you're talking to an officer of the court, you chose to say this.
I don't owe you a goddamn thing. You're a blood-sucking lawyer who doesn't give a shit about justice. You're doing tort law cases. You don't give a shit about justice or the rule of law or the Constitution or American
Maximum length recorded.
You called the guy a bloodsucker. You told him he didn't care about justice. And then you kicked him. You tried to kick him in the ass for being involved as a defense attorney in a tort law case. So if the fact that he's involved in a tort law case makes him some kind of blood-sucking pariah, what does that make you, Chili, for bringing a tort law case? You don't seem to understand how the words you speak work like a boomerang and come back and crack you in the skull. If he doesn't care about justice because he's defending a woman in a tort law case, and that makes him a bloodsucker, then what the fuck are you for bringing a tort lawsuit? You must not be interested in justice. And you must only be interested in money. And if you were interested in money, why would you be suing Kate Peter? She ain't got none. It's one thing to get a judgment, Chili. It's a whole nother thing to collect on a judgment. You can't get blood out of a stone. And what do you think? Kate's going to do what you wanted to do and e-beg her way to getting out of debt? She's not going to do it. She's just not going to pay you. And you're not going to get anything. And you're not going to get equitable relief. And no judge in this country who wants to maintain his judgeship is going to step on someone's freedom of speech. You're not a very bright boy, Chili. And every day you prove that your candle flickers on a short wick with a flame that's about to burn out. Good luck, Mr. deCastro. Luck is all you have at this point, and you are going to need it. Many thanks, everybody, for stopping by. I would like to thank and welcome our new subscribers. We picked up a few in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and even though our numbers are low, we seem to be a solid unit, and we're all happy with each other. I don't see any real bickering in the comments, any fighting. That's good. Let's remember, the comment section is open to everyone to voice their opinion. Don't post porn. That's all we ask. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but don't do it. That'll be about the only thing that'll get you your comments deleted. YouTube does automatically delete some comments based on profane language. I have nothing to do with that. If that happened to you, I apologize. I'm not really averse to or offended by curse words or profane language. But, we have to remember, there are children out there reading the same things we're reading. So, let's behave ourselves. At least act civilly. Express yourself as you see fit, which we all should do, and preserve our right to express ourselves as we see fit. Listen to other people. Don't listen to find something minuscule to object to. That's conversation that leads nowhere but petty arguing. Listen to understand. Listen to comprehend. Take a moment. Think about what was said. And then fire away if you want to fire away. Counter any argument. But listen to understand. Don't listen to find a petty thing to object to. Listen to understand. And things will go well for you. You'll learn, you'll grow, and you'll leave people who only want to argue about nonsensical things. Literally, you'll leave them in the dust. And if your journey through life is of a sufficient arc, you may come back upon that individual, a more mature and wiser person, and you may be able to help them at that point. On a future note, I'll pop the graphic up right about here. Our boy Chili is now going to punish all of the beta boys on YouTube and sue YouTube itself. He didn't learn when he got his TikTok channel shut down. He's probably going to get his YouTube channel shut down. So enjoy the phenomenon we know as Lil Chilito, Chili, small d, deCastro, however you know the guy, whatever name you call him by. Enjoy it while it lasts, because this one might be on the verge of burning out. And that said, I did actually read Common Sense by Thomas Paine, a piece I've read several times in the past, but it's been a solid 20 years since I've read it. So I did, I found my copy of it. I have 2 or 3 copies of Thomas Paine's Common Sense. One of them's actually a study guide. I did pull that. I did reread it, and I did actually go on YouTube. There's there's 2 different readings, and I think the length of the reading is based on the speed of the reader. One is about 2 hours long, and the other one is about 2 hours and 38 minutes. I did read the both. I didn't read both. I listened to both. I read one printed book, Thomas Paine's Common Sense. I did refamiliarize myself with that material because Mr. deCastro has been talking about some new teaching that he's going to do based on common sense, which, will probably be like his don't push the button thing or transparency. It's just another thing he talks about that's probably never going to come to fruition. But the reason why I went back and read him is because, one, I wanted to familiarize myself with it so that I can hit that heavy bag hard if it starts pulling nonsense with it. And the other reason I read it is because common sense really is an argument for secession from. It really is nothing more. It's a solid argument for why the colonies should secede from British rule and the eventual realities that will take place. Things like the co-joining of commerce and the military for defense. Something a lot of people knock today, but it's been actually worked into the blueprint of our societal plan from inception. I think Mr. deCastro may have missed that one because he talks a lot about conspiracy theory with DuPont and pharmaceutical companies and the outlawing of marijuana and the rest of the stuff. Chile deCastro is a conspiracy theorist. He's a sovereign citizen conspiracy theorist. Plain vanilla. I mean, there's really nothing different about him than anyone else. So, common sense really is an argument why the 13 colonies should break away from Britain. So what's Mr. deCastro going to use that argument for? Is Chile going to break away? Is Chile going to secede from the Union? Is Chile going to get his Chileites to secede from the Union? Are we talking about maybe a group of people packing it all in and heading down to Guyana for a little fun in the sun and now and again Kool-Aid, with the last Dixie cup drank being the one that's got the poison in it? I don't know what this guy's doing. It all seems crazy. We shall see, though. We shall see. It shall play out. I think Mr. deCastro knows his days are numbered. And I think suing YouTube is a way for him to get his account shut down, because he's too much of a coward to just close it up and walk away. I mean, he's going to make YouTube kick him out. That way he can, shake the fist in the air and, the bad people. He wants to get booted because he knows he's going to lose his lawsuit. He knows that right now. He thought that the $18,000 that Kate raised was a joke, that it was all fake. Now he sees the lawyer she got. Now he knows the money was real. Now he really knows he's in over his head. I'm pretty sure Chile knows he can't win this one, which is why we've seen him so often in the last week or two, manic, super happy 1 minute, super low the next minute, making threats, all the rest of the nonsense, all the while self-medicated with the big yellow bong. I think Chile knows he's done. And I think he is too much the coward to just pack it up and go. I think he's going to make YouTube boot him, so he can wag that fist in the air and say, oh, I was maltreated, blah, 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 which is pretty much what he's done his whole life. So he never learned the lesson. But if you see him around on the street, might not be a good idea to call him out. You might want to just slowly roll past him and snicker to yourself, because that boy gonna snap one day or the next. He's gonna snap. All right, kids, I'm off. I got to head over to a buddy's house, take care of his Belgian Malnese while he's down in Florida with his family. So I will be enjoying a pool, a spa, and a nice Belgian German Shepherd for company. I hope your day goes as good as mine. I'll see you soon.